everybody. Hello, and welcome to the Fourth Wall Theater Company's virtual reunion of Bear, a Pop Opera. Tonight, we are here with the cast and some of the crew to discuss the show and just reconnect with everybody to find out how life has been since Bear closed. So first, let's have everybody in the cast introduce themselves and tell us what role they played in Bear, a Pop Opera, and what is one thing that they did in the show that they really enjoyed. All right, so Jason Bionda, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Jason and I played Peter. My favorite thing that I did in the show was probably telling Karl that I wish his piñata was bigger in front of a lot of old ladies.
A truly touching moment in the show. Yes. All right, Karl.
Hi, I'm Karl. I played Jason in the show. One of my favorite things was the fun relationships and banter between both me and the character Peter, and then also Sarah, who played my sister.
Yes, totally agree. You guys had a lot of really good chemistry on stage. Woohoo! All right, Ben, who are you?
Hi, I'm Ben. I played Matt. And my favorite part of the show was probably just being a bad guy, because I've never really been mean in shows. I was especially mean to Karl, but just generally being a jerk was a lot of fun.
Yes, we may see a video clip of you being a jerk later if time allows.
Oh, good.
You'll see. All right, Kevin, tell us about yourself.
I'm Kevin Branson. I was the music director for the show. There were a lot of parts of it that I liked, but the one that immediately comes to mind is getting to Tech Week and getting to take what the singers and the band have done and go like this, smush it all together, make a show.
Yeah, absolutely. And you put in a lot of work because for those of you who don't know, we had the band rehearsing separately when they could. And then for Tech Week, we kind of smooshed them and somehow we made a show. Go team. All right, Shayla, AKA the birthday girl. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Shayla Moreland. I played Kira and an angel in the show. And one of my favorite moments was probably either singing Birthday Bitch because I just went so hard on that song, or Naveen brought me brownies in the scene after.
Go Naveen. Yes. All right, Ciara, our mysterious masked individual practicing safety. Tell us about yourself.
My name is Ciara. I played Ivy in the show. I think one of my in general favorite part was probably, I don't know, just that like Karl was saying, like the just the relationships that we all had and stuff like that, because it was probably just my favorite part of the week. It was a majority of my week, but it was my favorite part. And yeah, I didn't think ahead on this.
Well, you thought just enough, so thank you. All right, Craig, your turn.
Hi, thank you, Jill. My name's Craig Sanders. I played the part of Alan. And yeah, I played Alan. It was a really fun show. I guess my favorite thing is that I'd never been in a musical before, and I was a very warm, accepting environment from everyone. I doubled down on what you guys said about the inside jokes and camaraderie, and it was just overall such a fun experience. We didn't want it to stop, or at least I didn't want it to stop, and all good things have to do. So I'm happy that we have this reunion. This is great, Jill. Thank you for putting this on.
Yay, no problem, Craig. All right, Chris, talk to us.
Hi, I'm Chris. I was an ensemble character, and I did a lot of like obscure parts and scenes. I was in the background, but it was still very fun being a part of the show because, well, I mean, it was great music, great cast. Everybody was just so friendly with each other, and I absolutely loved being that.
Uh-oh, can you guys hear each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. My computer cut out. Technology, love it. Yay. All right, Sarah.
My name is Sarah. I played Nadia, and my favorite part is probably Birthday Bitch. for obvious reasons,
Yeah.
but mostly for the condom boa.
Yeah, the condom boa was pretty excellent.
A
So.
prop for the ages.
Absolutely. Truly. All right, Jenny.
Hi, I'm Jenny Connors, and I played Mom, and I cannot remember the name of the character.
Claire.
Claire.
Claire!
Claire!
It's been too long.
I just identified as being Mom. The whole thing was so special for me. Getting to be around all you guys and getting to have Jason and adopt him as my theater son. That's just how it is now. I think my favorite part to do in the show was Excelsior!
Yes, the show has a lot of good quotes. Looking back at the recording of the production, I'm like, oh, so many classics. All right, Naveen, your turn.
Hi, yeah, I'm Naveen. I played Zach. I had two favorite moments. One was being able to puke on stage, which was really fun. Like falling on stage too, and just like the whole process was hilarious. And also jumping on Ben to stop the fight.
Yeah, that was great.
That was pretty awesome because I'm the shortest and Ben I think is the tallest.
Yeah.
I don't know, but hey, you know, that was fun.
Yeah, small but mighty and strong. Yes. All right, Samantha, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name's Samantha Nakagaki, and I play Tanya, which I had to remember her name. Tanya, yes. And my favorite moment, I think, was probably the rave and then having to sweaty quick change in the confession. That was always a lot of fun with all those people packed in the backstage. Yeah.
Yes, we may watch a video of confession, and after we do, we may have a brief discussion just about the quick change. So I know for some of us, it was harder than others. And when I say some of us, I mean not me, because I directed the show, so I was not in it, and I did not have to put on any costumes. Yay! But my favorite part of the experience, I guess, was when the rehearsal process was over, and there were a couple rehearsals where someone else ran sound for me, so I didn't have to do it, and I got to sit out in the audience and actually experience the magic that you guys had created. That was super cool. So definitely my favorite part. Woohoo! All right, so I think what I'm gonna do is, before we ask our first question, I'm gonna start us off with a video clip from the show, just to kind of take us back down memory lane, because as you all can see, some of us are having trouble remembering things about the show because 2020 is a raging dumpster fire and a lot has happened since we did this amazing show. So let me share my screen, and if any of you guys cannot hear this clip, please let me know, because my hope is that you can. So here we go. All right, can you guys all see that?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Yep.
Here we go. One of my favorite songs from the show.
Oh, we don't hear anything.
Ooh, look at those two sexy boys up there.
You guys can hear that? Yeah?
No.
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
Speak.
All right, everyone remember their lines?
Oh, well, tell me if you can't hear it. Okay. Hang on. Click share audio. So it should be doing that, but let's see. Give me 1 second.
Recreate it. It's all good.
What's that?
Just recreate it. Does anyone know their line?
I clicked share computer sound.
Could it be your headphones, Jill?
Her.
Those are my
Oh, look at Craig.
Good call.
Look at Craig holding that Bible.
Oh yeah.
Na, 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 na,
Nice holding
na,
your
Tell me
na,
if you
na.
guys can hear this, okay? Yeah? Let me know. Not yet. Hang on. Let me get it to the right spot.
Oh yeah, we hear that.
Oh yeah, we can hear it
I'm
now.
holding the Bible. I forgot about that.
Loud and clear.
Yes. Yay! All right. So that was one of the first numbers in Bear. How much fun was that? All right. So that brings us to our first question. It's sort of a general question. So I want to know, what was your overall experience like performing this show? So how was it? And what did you like about it? I also want to take a moment to introduce Kai, who got here. Hi, Kai. Can you tell us what role you played and also one of your favorite things that you did during the show?
Hi, my name is Kai. I played Lucas Carter, the drug dealer, basically. Yeah, like he was the guy that he was the raver. He knew it was good. He knew it was good. Yeah. Why is okay? Cool.
It's okay. We can talk about some of your
Very
favorite things later. Come up too. So don't worry. Okay, everybody. What was your experience like? What were some specific things that you particularly enjoyed about performing this show?
I guess I could start. Bear had been my dream show for years. So it was really meaningful for me to participate in this show for a number of reasons. I have a lot of similar experiences in my life to the two main characters of Peter and Jason. And so just a lot of personal connection with the themes of the show and with the characters. And so not only the opportunity to be in my dream show and to have one of my dream roles, but to do it with such an incredible cast and crew. One of my big worries coming in, having such personal investment in the show and in the topics, was just concerned if that level of care and commitment would be consistent across the cast and crew, if it would be taken as seriously and seen as an important message as it is. And I was very, very pleased and just beyond happy with how much care and concern everybody in the process took with the show, and really gave the message, gave the characters the depth and the work that it needed to really speak to what, unfortunately, 20 years after the show was written, are still problems that LGBT people are facing in religious circles and in life. And so that was just really meaningful for me. And yeah, so it was great.
Yeah, I totally agree that you guys really went above and beyond as a cast. And it was a tough rehearsal process. And I think that is because it was personal to a lot of us, to all of us. It was more than just a show. It was more than just, we're putting on a spectacle for an audience to behold. It meant something to everybody. And so that carried a lot of weight with it, but that was really palpable during the performance. And because of that, it was a great show. Any other thoughts just about, in general, how it was, things you liked about it?
I want to piggyback. Oh,
you go ahead.
Thank you. I was just going to piggyback off of Karl real quick, because I have some similar sentiments of not in being treated the way that the characters are in the show, but similar sentiments in that this show is very meaningful to me. I remember when I first heard it, must have been 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. And, I was just like, this is so beautiful. But then I kind of almost resigned myself to accept I'm never going to be involved in this. Not because I don't want to, but because it's, it's not like the other shows you see being done in Sacramento. It's very heavy. And it's not exactly an easy show to watch. There are a lot of parts that rightfully make you uncomfortable. And I was just like, I don't, as much as I want to do that, I don't know if anyone's ever going to take that risk. And then I got the message from Jill, and I've shared with all of you in the message board what my reaction was when Jill said she wanted to do this. I was like, yes, absolutely. And so with that buildup, just like Karl said, this show was really important to me from the very beginning.
Totally. Ben, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, in the show, I've done a lot of shows with fun casts, but this is probably my favorite cast that I've done a show with, honestly. I feel like rarely you get a show where you click with everyone and you feel like a team, And I really felt that with this show. And other than the cast, like the show itself was just a lot of fun. I know a lot of you guys knew the show beforehand. I didn't really know the show at all. And when we did that first the reading of the show, I was blown away by the script and so excited to do the show, and the whole process was just great. I loved every part of it.
So to get a little more specific, do you guys have any favorite songs or scenes in the show? Any favorite songs or scenes?
Oh man.
Any.
Oh, somebody else talk?
Ciara.
Okay. I don't
don't know if this is my favorite song. I don't know that I have a favorite song because I love the entire soundtrack so much. But something I found myself doing when the cast list first came out, and I was trying to like study up and stuff like that. And you know, I take the bus. That's a lot of time. So I spent all my time on the bus just listening to the soundtrack over and over and over again, so I could get it like into my brain. And something I found myself doing often was actually listening to the first track, specifically the like abomination lines and stuff like that over and over again, because I didn't really grow up in like religious circles or anything like that, so it didn't quite like hit home necessarily. I mean, I'm queer, but it didn't like hit home in that regard. But it almost made it feel like it like kind of like pseudo hit home, because that's how powerful the vocals were and that's how powerful the message was. And I found myself listening to that section of the song over and over and over again and just like crying on public transportation. And it was my favorite thing to like, I know we all were like tirelessly working on that song for like the entire show, but something I was so grateful to do, because I was like, the fact that we get to sing this song at all, it like means so much to me.
Any other songs or scenes that people just, I don't know, either you at the time like they were your favorite, or like to this day you can't get them out of your head?
Yeah, I have one.
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. I think Queen Mab really grew on me. It was like definitely during the show when we first started running it, and we were backstage you can kind of see like the shadows of the people on the brick wall. I thought that was such a cool image and such an interesting perspective for what was happening in that moment, because it was such the big lead up, you know, the most tragic part of the story. So that was really impactful, and I didn't know it was going to be that impactful listening to the soundtrack before actually performing the show. So yeah,
yeah, that's a super underrated song, I think. One of the best.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
It's funny that she said that. I was actually gonna say Bear going into Queen Mab is probably my favorite because and I remember like out of all of the show, that's probably what I remember the most vividly. Like I still can picture being on stage and that scene and everything. But just because like all of the emotion behind it, and like Karl was saying earlier, everybody took their character so seriously and so preciously. So when we were in that scene, it felt very real and realistic, and it like that scene always stays in my head with me.
Yeah, I totally agree. That was one of my favorite songs for sure. I feel like that was the crying moment, especially for people who knew how it was all going to end. Because if you could have just stopped the show right there where Peter and Jason are together, you know, you could have ended up with a very different story, but that's not the story we were telling. So yeah, a really, you know, dramatic and beautiful moment. Yes, Chris.
So one of my absolute favorite songs, and I feel it's also kind of underrated, is Absolution with Peter and the priest, because I feel that there's just so much emotion in there and so much forgiveness that it just really brings everything together, saying like, I know you didn't understand him, but I forgive you for, you know, being the person that you are, for not understanding, and then just letting it all out at the end there is just really just concluding. I really loved it.
Yeah, that scene was probably one of the hardest moments for me because, and one of the biggest learning moments for me, because I, in real life, am not that forgiving of a person. So
I'm kind of the same way.
Especially when it comes to things like as deep as that was. So like that moment for me was really like deep and hard.
Yeah, absolutely. The end is a killer, you know. I feel like the first act is like one banging song after the next, and then yes, literally, act two. It's a killer. It rips your heart out, throws it on the ground, but that's why it's so awesome. All right. Any other favorite songs?
I was just saying, I think a lot of shows have like that one or two songs that you always skip on the soundtrack,
Mhm.
or that you don't like, or that nobody likes. This show doesn't really have that.
Yeah.
Every song I have always loved. Picking a favorite song after doing this show is really hard for me now because there's just so much tied in to each song, and some of the ones that have always been so beautiful and emotional and I've considered some of my favorite are now too hard for me, that I've dove so deeply into it to say it's my favorite. I know it's a little cliche, but I have to say the title song
I was gonna say
after
that
doing
too.
the show is my favorite. Just getting to act that song with Jason, playing Peter.
Yeah, I agree. It was such a powerful scene. Definitely one of my favorites as well. Naveen?
Yeah. Carl, you kind of touched on this just now when you were like, oh yeah, you know, some musicals have soundtracks like where there's some songs here and there that you kind of skip. And I think initially for me, All Grown Up was one that I skipped, but after I heard Ciara sing it, after I heard Ciara sing it, like I'm having goosebumps right now too, just thinking about it. Like it went from a song that like it's kind of slow and like whatever to like this is one of my top 3 kind of thing, just from like just from this selection. And I think that I wasn't expecting that at all. That's something that took me totally by surprise.
That's so sweet. Thank you.
Craig.
I have a few favorites I want to share that just came to mind. I actually want to know the names, so I looked them up. But looking back at these, so See Me with Peter and Claire, See Me, that one moved me every time. I loved watching that one in rehearsal. Like anytime you guys were running that one, I just wanted to run around the front and just watch. It was just so moving. Like I still love that scene. That one. Another one was where was it? Oh, I just had it. Oh, Warning, Claire. I really like the Warning song for the same reason. That was another one. Naveen just mentioned the other one that I was gonna say was All Grown Up, and then finally I just had to throw this in there because I quoted it so much. Was Promise. I just love that big reveal and Ivy's pregnant and that whole you guys know, but those are just ones that still hit home for me just thinking about it. So.
Yes. So for any of the like audience members watching this who maybe aren't familiar with some of the lines in the song Promise, that's when it's revealed that Ivy's pregnant and Jason is the dad. So Ben, as Matt would saying, Ivy's pregnant and your boyfriend's the dad. And that turned into like a meme in our cast. We would all be walking around backstage to each other like, Ivy's pregnant and Zach is the dad. You know, like there's a different dad next night, or like your mom's pregnant and your cow is the dad. You know, it changed.
Yeah.
It changed every time. Good times, good times. All right, speaking of having fun, I'm going to play a song for us all that some of us quoted as being the most fun. So let's watch that. Here we go. Like before, let me know if you can't hear it. But I think I fixed the problem, so y'all should be able to hear it. All right. A good one. Any thoughts after having viewed that?
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
I have two things to say. One of them being because performance in particular this night. So I want to say that if anyone noticed, Sam did put the underwear on my head, and that was the other night.
I did not
was
notice.
That was what got recorded.
Was that a night where I
it was really
handed
funny.
you one of the panties?
Oh my god!
I think it might have been.
I did do that.
Sorry, go on.
Being put on my head and in character slingshot it to Jason. I was like, Peter, catch, and then you didn't. And I think I just didn't. Just like one of my favorites. Also, and we didn't show this part because it was right afterwards, but that was the night that Ben had his arm around me and he was in such like a lock that I had to fish myself out from under him.
Oh no.
Very in character. Very Matt of you. Nice. All right.
Cool.
I think Kevin is raising his hand. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah. So, in a show like Bear, where there are so many amazing moments, it can be a real challenge as someone in a pit on stage to pay attention to the music and not what's happening on stage. And that was definitely a song where it was so hard, especially because right in my line of sight is Sarah as Nadia. For those of you who maybe don't remember this part of the show, Nadia wrote that cute little thing that they sing to Ivy when she comes in, and just the whole scene, whenever I look up, I'm just seeing Sarah just so into what she has done. Like, she just thinks that she is fucking Mozart or something. And it was so hard to not just die every night.
I was Mozart.
My bad.
I have to say, it was just a really fun scene to direct too, because I'd be like, "Hey, you! So you're gonna take the giant penis and you're gonna hit them with it, and then you run off and get the panties and you start throwing them all over, and then you'll take all the condoms and you'll sling them over their shoulder. Perfect. End of scene." So,
Yeah, that
time to be had.
when May came in with the brownies.
Mm-hmm.
So Hannah didn't eat one on stage because her character was like the good girl of everything, so she didn't eat them. And then Sarah had a line next, so she never ate hers either, and they both would give them to me. And one night I had 3 brownies in my mouth, and it was coming to the end where I go up to Carl and I'm like, "You don't want to play?" And so my mouth is full of brownie as I'm singing this to him, and he looks at me and he's like half smiled and he's like, "No." Because I didn't want
struggle.
I didn't want to just hold Kevin up the whole time, so I just sang it with all the brownies in my mouth.
It was the struggle because
near the night? Is that why everyone laughed that night?
Yeah.
See, my favorite part of that scene was Craig, because at the end of the scene, Craig has to get me away from Ciara by like saying some crap, and he like improvised like a different thing every time. I don't even remember what it was. But I remember almost breaking every time.
Well done, Craig. Also, who could forget the moment that Craig needed a cup? Another catchphrase. For the rehearsal process. I need a cup.
Wow.
All right, let's go over to Samantha. Go ahead, Samantha.
Okay. I just wanted to say, like, every time I listen to the cast album, I'm imagining all of your faces, and it's so nice to actually hear your voices sing the parts like that I'm imagining in my head again. It feels right now. And also, this is the first time I've actually got to see that whole scene because Ciara and I are backstage most of the time. And I've been watching a lot of Broadway bootlegs, so I love watching all, like, the ensemble people. You guys look so good. Like, you're actually at the party. Like, I love the energy. It's so nice to see.
Hell yeah.
Your Broadway
So,
level.
Little fun fact about ensemble. I actually used my phone throughout most of the play. So I was snapping pictures and even recorded Ivy's reaction to the song and all the singing to her. So I posted it on the Facebook page a while back, but we actually got like a pretty genuine reaction from Ciara as she was playing Ivy. And it was so much fun because we were all like just really enticed in this moment and just having so much fun, just embracing everything of our characters into this moment. It was great. Loved it.
Yay. I totally agree. It's just so much fun. I watched it so many times and I'm still not tired of it. In fact, I'd like to watch it about 5 more. Okay, so let's move on to a slightly more serious question. What were some of the hardest things about, both the rehearsal process and just the show? Maybe the themes or the notes that you had to sing. I mean, what were the hardest things about this show?
Remembering no voice, whatever that is.
Oh my God, I'll second that shit.
Yeah. That song was challenging for sure.
It was just like so many notes. I mean, I know we all had different parts, right? So not everyone's gonna relate exactly to the altos, but like everyone can relate in their own way. But it was like, what were they thinking? Yeah, it sounds hella ominous because the notes are so unsettling to sing, to hear, to experience.
If I have to hear the word dissonance again, I'm gonna be real upset.
I was totally just about to say this.
Don't say it, Kevin. Don't say it.
Too late.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This show, musically, is a combination of, a lot of modern rock songs and then some really like tight choral moments that have to happen as well. And that was one of those songs where everything had to be perfect, and it also came at a really like emotionally charged point in the show. So you guys were all over the place like mentally, and then you had to get back in it for this one moment to sing something very like distanced and choral. So that was challenging. Yeah. Any other hard things about the show?
Can I tell you about the thing that was really difficult for me that I never told anyone?
Yeah.
It's nothing emotional. So you know how you'd have me come in and I would sit down?
Yes.
I was so focused every single night on keeping my knees together because I'm sitting there in a skirt facing the audience, and I'd be spending the entire time thinking, keep those knees together, Jenny, keep them together, keep those knees together. And every now and then they'd start to go apart, and I'd snap them back together, and it really like amped up my acting, I think.
Wow, that's great.
Let's give it up for Jenny's legs.
Yes, Jenny's legs.
Yes, keeping it together.
Claire is very repressed, so yeah, repressing those legs. Love it.
Y'all are hilarious. Oh my goodness.
Any other moments that were hard? Or
I mean,
hard?
there was a really, really hard costume change for me. Between the party and the scene after the party, I think.
And what was the scene after the party, Ben?
It was the little duet that me and Jason had. The father can the truth be? Yeah.
Oh, confession.
Confession. Yeah, I don't remember
Was
the
it
name.
just a
of the
duet?
song.
Are you there?
Well, it was a duet within the song.
Yeah, Are You There is after the party. Confession is after the rave.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are so
I
many
just remember
songs
during
in the
that
show.
scene, like ripping off clothes and then like putting clothes back on as fast as I
Oh,
could. Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody else have a challenging costume change? Carl laughs.
No,
Yes,
couple-
Carl, we choose you.
Yeah.
What did you have to do?
So, because after the rave, everyone exits the stage except for Jason and I, or Peter and Jason, who then sing another song, Best Kept Secret. And then we have to exit. And then I think we had, from the time that song ended and went to blackout until lights came up for Confession, what do we have, like 10, 15 seconds?
It was not a lot of
Approximately.
seconds at all.
No, I had to go from jeans and a tank top for me to dress shoes, dress pants, and a tie and button up. So that was a little bit tough. So
quite a
thankfully
quick
I
change.
had a few
Let's see it.
helpful folks
Oh,
backstage
gosh.
helping with that.
Let's see that costume change. What an exciting moment for all of us. Backstage, good times. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna cut it there, even though I know there was a little duet afterwards. That was also nice. But yeah, I think it helps that we started that song off by running in, acting like we were still getting assembled, because for many of us, we totally were still getting assembled. 100%.
If you catch it when most of us go upstage and face upstage, you can kind of see me still readjusting tie because I wasn't done with costume. Yeah.
You didn't see it in the clip, but because our duet is right after, but that specific night, the night of the recording, I didn't zip up my pants, and so while I'm singing my little solo, I have my hands over my because I forgot to zip my pants.
Oh my god.
No.
Wow. Okay. That kind of brings me to the next question. Our next question is about any on-stage like blunders or mistakes that may have been made. So we had some brownies in the mouth from Jason, aka Peter. We had unzipped pants. What else do you have for us, Jason, or anyone else? Yeah, Kevin. You raising your hand?
I think she wants to add something onto the last topic before we move on.
Also into this one too. For Confession, I don't remember which show it was, but I slammed my hand on the stage and I accidentally slammed my finger on the end of the stage and ended up bruising and jamming my ring finger for it. But a belting. So it hurt like hell, but I was still singing. So I couldn't like stop and breathe because I was in the middle of a powerful note.
You harnessed the emotion. You harnessed it. Yeah, that's a blunder, a painful one. I'm sorry that happened to you, man. All right, Kevin, go ahead.
So one night during Wedding Bells, I did not realize that my music stand was getting a little flimsy on me, and it just straight up tips over. Luckily, one of our guitarists, Brandon, wasn't he did I don't think he was playing in that part of the song, and he caught it and he just kind of tilted it back up for me. But you know, imagine my reaction when I'm just like, my music's gonna be right on the floor where they're dancing in just a second.
Uh-oh, that would have been bad. Man, go Brandon. Yes, Ciara.
Oh, I was gonna say there was and Sarah will remember this absolutely. We were having, she already knows, we were having a lot of trouble. I was having a lot of trouble with the slap scene in, I don't even remember the name of the song now. The scene where she slaps me, because I really just, stage combat is not my
fucking
at
real.
all.
Yeah.
My poorly, it wasn't good either. And then the very first night, you know, I was supposed to clap my hand, and I didn't miss my hand. I just missed the part that would be audible. So I hit like it, and it made no sound. And so like she just kind of, but there was no sound.
I was like, God. Yeah, I remember Sarah coming up to me one day and she was like, I got slapped for real. I said, oh no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and like then Ciara was like, do it for real. And I was like, ah.
Honestly, it hurt. Like, I just needed it to be audible. Like that was
She was like, it's better than this shit. And I was like, no.
Oh my God. Any other like mistakes or funny things that happened on the stage? Yeah, Ben, are you raising your hand?
Yeah, I guess it's not on stage. I just remember there's times where people, certain props were lost or missing. And one day when we did the like the fencing with Karl, there was the fencing stick, like one of them was just gone. So I had to use the birthday bitch one, I think. So it was just.
And when you say the birthday bitch one, you mean
the
stick and not
the pinata stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Pink stick,
Out
not pink stick.
Uh,
We worked with what we had.
This reunion is rated PG-13. Okay. Any other mistakes or things? Yes, Jason.
During Sister Chantel's song, Teresa's song, the first one with the angels.
911.
Also closing night when we were recording, I totally fell onto Shayla, like as she's dancing. I fell over and hit her and knocked her over. But it's all okay because my character was supposed to be drunk, so.
Aw.
But yeah, I knocked her over. Like.
Anyone else?
Yeah, it wasn't a huge one, but one of the nights towards the end of the show, actually going into what might be the most climactic moment for my character as we're going into right after Once Upon a Time into, I'm totally blanking.
Cross.
What? Cross, yes, thank you. Into Cross, and the sole of my shoe decides it's time to detach from the rest of my shoe.
Uh-oh.
So I have to like shuffle on stage for the next number, and I'm kneeling on stage and the sole of my shoe is like flapping onto the stage. So I'm kneeling there singing this incredibly emotional, incredibly deep, heart-wrenching song, and my sole's flapping in the wind, no matter which way you look at it.
Yep. It was there. It was flopping. All right. I would like us to watch a scene that was one of my favorites that I think nobody has brought up yet, I believe, unless I'm wrong. So let's see that. Here we go.
I didn't want to leave without apologizing for the way I acted.